So I saw a very, very, very interesting video from Aus Thoby, and I thought I wanted to play a portion of it, but please go and check this video. This video that Aus Thoby made here, it's a very important video. She's documenting how she was isolated in faith. You know, you're not here to believe what Ricky believes. You're not here to believe what this person believes. But either ways, do not isolate or break away from the body. And this video here that Aus Thoby made, it's very important. Go check this video. She talks about a period when she was in our discipleship sessions and stuff like that. And I wanted to also highlight something about what Aus Thoby is saying in this video. There was a session we did about 10 days ago, and it's this one here, how to spot a laborer in God's vineyard, part 1. I'm going to leave that video. I know YouTube doesn't like links and stuff like that. I might get punished, but this is important. You know, we'll see. They don't like using external links and stuff, and so maybe you will just have to WhatsApp me in order for me to send you the thingy. I'll send you that particular session here about isolation, and I'll tell you what I was saying in that. But I want to play you first Aus Thoby's portion. The rest of the video I'll leave it in the pinned comment and in the description below. Go check this video out that Aus Thoby made. Shout outs to her here. And so what was she saying before I come back and I tell you about what we were saying in that session, which aligns exactly with what she was saying here?
To like advertise churches or pastors or anything like that. I'm just trying to show you this sinister modus operandi of how people, they isolate you for their benefit. You know, when God isolates you, he isolates you to himself so that you can learn more. So God around after COVID 2022 isolated me for himself so that I can read more scripture, dedicate, and just lose those toxic relationships. He was like taking all those toxic relationships away. So that was God isolating me. But Satan, because he's a copycat, he isolates also. He isolates you, but for himself, so that you can depend on himself, so that you have no voice of reason except him.
All right. So you hear that particular thing that she mentions right there, is that God isolates you to himself, but Satan isolates you to a point where you are actually dependent on him. By him, she means people, okay? Or in many different ways it could happen. But he isolates you to be dependent on people because he understands fellowship, relationships, and all these kind of things. And so he causes you to be dependent. He builds a dependency theology. This video of Aus Thoby, please go watch it. You're watching this video, go watch this video. It's a very interesting way that she picked up this video. It's a very interesting. She's talking about her line of deception that she went through, you know, over the last year, and how she came out of that, but how that isolation happened. God isolates you to himself, while as the devil isolates you by putting you in dependence into another person. So let's go back there.
Hey. Okay. I was sitting at home from 2022, 2023, almost around 2 years. Then 2023, I was like, no, I need to go back to fellowship. Go back to fellowship. So I went back to fellowship. I was in the class, in the discipleship class, fellowshipping Brother Ricky and other believers. And we were, that time, last year, September, when Brother Enigma first boomed, we were actually voting for dates of when are we going to do the meetup for fellowship.
my apologies on that. We ended up canceling because, dodgy people were looking, So, unfortunately, I ended up having to cancel that because of those issues. But I never even mentioned why we ended up canceling. But definitely shall happen.
Because we're already doing, once or twice a week, we're already doing Bible studies, intense Bible studies. So we're already meeting, planning for a fellowship. Okay. Now, this person comes. Okay. Then it was December. It was the year goes and it was December. I went home. Then the following year I said, okay, let's see your pastor. Yeah, because our pastors, they are
they're blind.
They don't have the
I'll leave the video down in the description. Please go check the video. She breaks down like how she broke free from that line of deception. I thought this video was very interesting and I want you to go and check it out. Now, I wanted to point you out to this lesson that we did. Which is why what she was saying here stuck so deep. It's because of the session that we did about the 15th. If you actually scroll back and you check, you'll see when we did that session right there. How to spot a laborer. And in this session, we were speaking about a certain Bible verse. There are people that might be Christian, but they are not a laborer in the vineyard. There's a certain tone they have. That's not a tone of a person who's a laborer in God's vineyard. Brother Enigma does not have a tone of a laborer. Yeah, it's not very complicated, it's not difficult. He does not have a tone of a laborer because why? He has no value for the body. Like he's building people around him. So exactly what Aus Thoby was talking about. Instead of building people around the body of Messiah, we don't build people around us. We are not the reference point. We build people around the body of Messiah, to whom we are ourselves are clinging for life unto. And so in this session, we spoke about how to spot a laborer. And I want to show you the Bible verse we were reading from, because someone might hear that and say, oh, what verse? Someone might say, okay, what Bible verse were you guys reading that actually tells you that, and so forth. And so this takes us to this here, Matthew chapter number 9, and it speaks about Jesus went through all the cities and the villages, teaching in the synagogues and proclaiming the gospel of the kingdom and healing every disease and every affliction. Okay, so it's Jesus that's able to do that, not us. So we don't build people around us, because he is the one that heals and brings people. Because remember, if I be lifted up and I will draw all men unto me, he draws people to him. Okay, now when people get drawn to us, they get drawn to us because in our journey, God has something that they learn that refers back to him. You get? So people, because at the end of the day, we don't draw people. So if this channel has 100,000 subscribers or whatever number it has, whatever number of subscribers, these are people that are drawn by God. People just watch and pass, right? But most people, the people that actually subscribe, are people that are drawn. They will learn what they learn, and then, because it points them back to him. Now, look at what he says. So he heals. When we bring people to him, he heals and heals all in affliction. He says, when he saw the crowds, he had compassion on them. Why? Because they were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. You see, this is the problem. He has no one that he is using in the crowd to draw to him. So when God puts pastors, right? So Aus Thoby here speaks about a baptism which church he used to go to. Go check it out. Very interesting. And now there is a pastor here, right? And that pastor, I get drawn to that church. When I get drawn to that church, the pastor points me to Jesus. I become a member of that church. I might find some other things that I don't think I agree with him here, but either ways, I am still drawn to him because he points me back to Jesus. So when Jesus looked into the crowds, they were like sheep without a why, because there was no one he could draw the people to point to him. They were wolves because they were not, their mindset was not a laborer. Look at this thing here. And then he says, and then he said to his disciple, now these ones are going to hear him on how to do this thing. He says, the harvest is plentiful, standing right before them, but the laborers are few. Why? He needs people that are not going to draw people to themselves. He needs people that are going to draw people to him. Now people don't agree with you, they are going to hell. That's not how it works. You see, people must draw people to him. So he brings people. You see, Brother, I want to repeat this. It's not us who draw people. We don't need tricks to draw people to us. He does that. The more I work on my gifts, the more I sharpen myself to be a servant and not a wolf, he crafts me in a manner that he is glorified when I stand to teach. So it draws people to him. Doesn't draw people to me. A laborer's mindset. Watch now. So that's the first thing, right? A laborer draws people to him because he brought them to the laborer, right? So it's not complicated. You don't have followers. The quicker a person learns that, better. You do not have followers. The more a person works on themselves in service so that they are capable of serving, he will draw. If I learn to not be an idol, he will draw the right people. Now there are people that will be drawn to you either ways, whether you are thinking, if you refuse to learn the right lessons, you'll find the wrong kind of people being drawn to you. It's important. Maturity is not a choice. It's a must. Otherwise, you'll find yourself drawing the wrong kind of people. When you have an arrogance in your tone, you will draw that. You will start to draw that, and that becomes dangerous there. Anyways, we're talking about those that are saving here. Notice then how the next thing. So first, remember, the first thing by which we know a person who's a laborer, because remember in the session we're talking about how to spot a laborer. They don't draw you to themselves, they draw you to him, right? So they don't make you dependent. Aus Thoby goes to describe that. I'm not playing that part so that you can go and watch that video. But I want you to see the second thing. So he doesn't give you one thing, he gives you two things. It says, the harvest is plentiful, but there are few laborers. Why? Few laborers by which he will be glorified. If they put you in position today, Jesus' glory is gone. Jesus' glory is gone. Okay? All right. Let's go back. It says, pray. This is the second thing by which we will know a laborer. Pray earnestly. This is your focus. To the Lord of the harvest to send other laborers. This is the second thing by which you will know a laborer. He has others that he can refer to. Brother Enigma, they don't have other people they can refer to. He can only refer to himself. When he stops going to that church, you stop as well. Aus Thoby goes to describe that in the video. Why? He's not a laborer in the vineyard. We're not questioning whether he's saved or is what we do as equal. He can work on himself by himself over there while he decides to do that. We function on a timeline here. I might die tomorrow. I don't have time for you to decide whether you're going to drag your feet to being a servant or a laborer in the vineyard. Why? Because you are choosing. You see, the second point. So the first thing that you know, they don't draw you to themselves. They draw you because people, you don't have followers. It's not like you don't have followers. Remember, if I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. He doesn't draw. He draws all men unto him. How? By using those that are vessels, working on themselves to be servants effectively. And then when those people are in service, how will you know them? They recognize that they are other laborers. You pray earnestly to the Lord of the harvest to send other laborers. See, that's the session we were doing that I found quite interesting to what Aus Thoby is saying. This session here, how to spot a laborer in the vineyard of the Lord. We spoke about that right there. So I thought it was quite an interesting video that she made. Please go check her video out. I'll leave it down in the description below. A laborer. It's not a first thing. No, it's something you can't fake. And I'm not talking about people that reference people that they benefit from. No. I'm talking about a laborer. You can see they recognize people even outside of their own church. When people only have themselves to reference, it's a problem. Like, wait, a laborer's prayer is that there are more laborers. It's not these people that you hear, I'm a son to tell. No, not a laborer. That one. That one is not a laborer. A laborer will never say, no, there are too many churches. We have a church every corner. No, you are listening to a worldly person. You are not listening to a laborer. A laborer has a different tone. His tone is completely different because he understands not all men draw to him. Strict Reality Show with daily Christian commentary videos. Shout out to Aus Thoby, and I'll see you guys on the later on other videos done today. They'll be down in the pinned comments. Have a blessed evening.